Hello and welcome! I have been collecting video games for a while now, and I would say that the most unique system I own is the Virtual Boy. It's a niche system of by far the smallest library of games I own for any hardware. However, playing the Virtual Boy is a one-of-a-kind experience. There's a crispness to the display which modern VR headsets can't seem to compete with. Plus, it has a controller which I personally consider to be one of Nintendo's best. However, this experience is plagued with issues, from eye strain caused by the unique displays and failed components from aging hardware, which makes suggesting getting a Virtual Boy hard, even harder when you see its current price. So when Nintendo announced that they were going to release a Virtual Boy Accessory for the Nintendo Switch, I thought that this may be a good opportunity to introduce people to the unique world that's called the Virtual Boy. Let's start with the main attraction, the Virtual Boy Accessory. It's not particularly cheap, but for what it is, it's well built, the attention to detail is spectacular, and even when they had to make alterations like space for the Switch to actually fit inside it, they do so both without ruining the aesthetics and by adding functionality, like the ability to automatically center your Switch. Under the hood, the Virtual Boy Accessory lies a Labo VR kit, which essentially is what the cardboard version of this unit is. And while you can play Switch VR games in this one, the experience isn't particularly great since the Joy-Cons aren't physically attached to the Switch and the unit is awkward to hold. The Virtual Boy Accessory truly is only designed to be placed on a table to play Virtual Boy games. Which, as an owner of a real Virtual Boy, I'm a bit disappointed that Nintendo didn't add a 1/4-inch tripod screw to the bottom of this accessory so I can use an adjustable tripod to comfortably play my games. While aesthetically this looks exactly like the original stand, this stand was terrible 30 years ago, and with no real change, it's still terrible today. It's why I made my own tripod adapter for the Virtual Boy ages ago, and with a small alteration, it's now compatible with the new Nintendo Switch Accessory 2. So if you are interested in one, you can get yours today at 16bitstore.com. Links will be in the description. Now that I have everything ready, it's time for me to start playing Virtual Boy games. Or at least I would after I take out my wallet and pay Nintendo money for a subscription to Nintendo Switch Online. Oh, not the base subscription, which can be charged monthly, but instead the forced annual subscription for Nintendo Switch Online plus expansion pack and Knuckles, which for me is $80 annually? And an extremely hard pill to swallow. Especially since out of the 22 games on the Virtual Boy, only 7 were made available on launch. 3 of which I already own, 2 I even like. The game experience here isn't bad and the games do play like I remember them, especially if you abandon the Joy-Cons and move back to a real controller. However, the screen door effect on the Switch's lower resolution display leaves a lot to be desired. But I will give Nintendo some credit. After playing the Virtual Boy Accessory for some time, while it doesn't look like the real system, it certainly feels like it. And for a niche product, that's all I could really ask of it. Yet, I sadly cannot recommend going out to buy it. I actually really like this experience, and the physical unit's price is perfect. But having the software being tied down exclusively to a subscription is a massive mistake. I think including it with the Nintendo Switch Online is a good idea, but there needs to be a standalone application for it, or to at least include the software with the physical headset. Otherwise, when Nintendo sunsets the original Switch, like they did with their prior systems, I question what's going to happen to this accessory, as it is useless without the Virtual Boy software. With that said though, If you're already paying for Nintendo Switch Online plus Expansion Pass, then it isn't a bad accessory to get. The same goes for those who want to tinker with their own, make their own Virtual Boy, as the hardware here is perfect for it, especially if you compare it with an OLED display. But if you want to just play Virtual Boy, I feel without a dedicated purchase to the software, you are genuinely better off finding alternative ways to play Virtual Boy games. But anyways, thank you ever so much for watching. I hope you have yourself a good day, and as always, take care.